Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, November 28, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what that has been like in your year recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at this map that shows Atlantic hurricane and tropical storm activity throughout the hurricane season. And we can see that considering that we only have a couple days left within the hurricane season, we're wrapping up the activity. So the yellows that we can see by this map represent hurricanes, reds represent hurricanes and tropical storms. And we're starting to wind down heading into the month of December. Although we sometimes get some systems within the month of December, chances are slim. Either way, we shall keep you all posted on what is going to be happening just in case. Alright, so let us take a look at what the US National Hurricane Center is showing on their 7-day graphical tropical weather look. We can see that as of 7 p.m. this evening, the Hurricane Center has nothing new highlighted across the Atlantic. As it relates to what's happening across the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we still have that ridge of high pressure to the northeast of the Caribbean. That's sending all of that easterly trade wind across the main development region into the Caribbean. We can also see a cold front that stretches all the way from the northern section of the North Atlantic all the way down into portions of the Bahamas, sections of Cuba, and the northwestern Caribbean. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see those low-level patches of clouds moving from east to west, especially across the Caribbean right here, all courtesy of that easterly trade wind brought about by that high pressure ridge. We can also see the clouds associated with that cold front, stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic all the way down into portions of the Bahamas, Cuba, and the Western Caribbean. Not to mention the trough that brought some amount of overcast skies and isolated showers to sections of Jamaica today. We'll be talking more about the weather across the Caribbean later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Tuesday. It was stated that eastern Jamaica would have received some amount of rainfall in the morning, then spilling into sections of central and western Jamaica during the afternoon. And what ended up happening? By the way, just for reference, we know eastern Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Kingston, St. Andrew, Portland, St. Thomas. Central Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester. Western Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, so St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. And what ended up happening? As early as 7:36 a.m., a post was made on our Twitter page, our Facebook page, Instagram, and TikTok page. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us on those as we don't always make posts like that on our YouTube page. So we can see that a post was made highlighting the visible satellite images showing clouds bring overcast skies and isolated showers to sections of some central and eastern parishes especially. And even as the day progressed, even in the late morning hours at 11:26, we still had much of the same. Clouds bringing overcast skies and isolated showers to sections of some central and eastern parishes, especially across the north. So definitely sections of Portland, and some of that spilled into the afternoon hours. And we did indeed have some confirmation of this rainfall from some of our followers. Over on Facebook, we had Soldier Boy Willie stating lovely showers in St. Mary. My farm is so happy. Nelly Nemoy Temoy stating Port Antonio light to moderate showers. Ruth Johnson very cloudy in Mobay. Then we had Jennifer Colleen stating overcast in St. Anne. Demise Young stating overcast in Kingston. Sweet Sugar Stick very cloudy in Portland. Even on our Instagram page, we had confirmation of this rainfall. Shans here exquisite stating rain is here in Kingston 11. That girl Kai, rain in Papine. Shea Blue Marie just start drizzle in Portmore. So this does indeed confirm the rainfall that we got across the island for today. Taking a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can see those low-level clouds pushing from east to west across the island, bringing overcast skies, if not some isolated shores sections of the island. And if we take a look at the latest infrared satellite images, we can see that for the most part we had more, and we have some gray colors, which indicate some low to mid-level clouds. So we didn't have those high cold cloud tops, only some spots right there off the coast of St. Elizabeth and off the coast of Portland showing some high cold cloud tops, but we didn't see much in the way of thunderstorm activity at all. As we know, the thunderstorm activity is represented by those sparkling white dots that indicate lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. As it relates to the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours, from the Caribbean Institute from Meteorology and Hydrology website, this does indeed paint a picture of where we had that rainfall today, especially eastern Jamaica in the morning, definite sections of Portland, St. Anne, St. Mary, and sections of St. Thomas, and during the afternoon hours, sections of some central and western parishes, especially on the southern side. And if we take a look at the See Jamaica YouTube live cam, we can see that we had indeed some amount of rainfall in the corporate area. This is the Crossroads cam showing definitely some amount of isolated showers across sections of Crossroads. Some persons walking with their umbrella. We can also see that rainfall up in the hills of St. Andrew for the most part. Some of this rainfall might even have been causing some amount of traffic as usual along Halfway Tree Road. And on another note, there was an earthquake today. According to the United States Geological Survey, the USGS, another earthquake struck right there where we had the similar 5.6, 5.4, 5.6 earthquake back in late October. We had another one today just a month later. So, more than likely, that could have been classified as an aftershock. It was a magnitude 3.8 earthquake right there, 3 kilometers to the northwest of Hope Bay. It was a minor earthquake, so it may have been felt. Many persons didn't feel it at all, but some did. Either way, we have to remember that when it comes to earthquakes, as soon as we feel the shaking, we have to drop cover and hold on. Did you guys know that persons who run in an earthquake usually, you know, die more or suffer the consequences rather than those persons who stay put and do what they're supposed to do? Please don't panic. Please do not run in an earthquake. Drop cover and hold on. Under that desk or table could be the safest place that you stay to prevent yourself from injury due to falling object or debris. Alright, so let us take a look at the temperatures right now. We can see that we have 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And as the night progresses into 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning, temperature should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And as it relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can still see Jamaica embedded in some yellows or some slight gold colors that represent 1 to even 2 or even 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. This map is showing 18Z on Wednesday. When we calculate that, that's about 1 p.m. on Wednesday. So we definitely have some amount of above normal temperature still to receive. I know that normal temperatures, considering that we're wrapping up November now, we're starting to dip into the December temperatures a bit, but we're still in November. So the average temperatures or normal temperatures are about 88 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 88 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 30 degrees Celsius. So we should be still receiving anywhere from 30 to 33 degrees Celsius at most. As it relates to the dry air map, we can still see that we have a lot of dry air, especially around Jamaica where we see those oranges and reds. We can see that by the key at the bottom, the dry air is represented by the yellows, oranges, reds, and whites within those reds. Thank goodness we're not getting the whites and the dark reds, but there's a lot of dry air within our area at this time. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast, we can see that majority of that dust that we had stretching into the Caribbean has dwindled. We don't have much taking shape right now. Majority of the Saharan dust is, at bay across Africa at this time. And this is the forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday. Jamaica is in the clear. As it relates to the wave forecast, we can see that we have those blues surrounding the island. We take a look at the key at the bottom right. The blues represent anywhere from 1 meter wave height to at least maybe up to 2 or 1.5 meter wave height. And we can see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this. And that's due to the fact that the winds are not going to be that strong. We can see that the winds are going to be averaging anywhere from 10 to at least 20 knots at most, especially on the north coast right there, coming in from the east. And as it relates to rainfall, we do see some blues that represent rainfall maybe across sections of northern Jamaica tonight. So definitely sections of who knows Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, maybe spilling into sections of Trelawney. That's where we see that rainfall. However, as we head into the day on Wednesday, we don't see much in the way for rainfall at all. A lot more whites than anything else across majority of the models. So it could be more of a sunny to partly cloudy day for Wednesday across the island. And as it relates to the accumulated precipitation forecast, majority of this rainfall that we're seeing is already occurring right now across eastern and northern Jamaica, and the rest that we're expected to receive later on tonight. So tomorrow will definitely be a clear day. Either way, we're grateful that we got some rainfall today. We're in the month of November. We're wrapping up our rainy season here in Jamaica. So it's only a matter of time before we head into the dry season from December through to April. And we are, craving for some more rainfall. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see a lot of clouds stretching all the way across sections of the southeastern United States, including Florida, sections of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, a lot of low-level patches of clouds heading into sections of northern Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, bring some amount of rainfall to those areas. Costa Rica, Panama as usual, Colombia, especially southeastern Colombia and western Colombia, getting in a lot of overcast sky showers and thunderstorms. Not to mention sections of Venezuela, French Guyana, and even sections of the Eastern Caribbean right there with some low level patches of clouds moving from east to west. If we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, we can see that we don't have much in the way of rainfall taking place at all. Majority of that rainfall is right here to the south. So to the south of Guadeloupe, we have some hit or miss isolated showers as represented by those greens. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can see it even better, pushing from east to west, to the north and south of Barbados. So heading into sections of maybe, let's say, Martinique later on tonight. Some of that to the south of Barbados, moving from east to west into portions of the Grenadine Islands right there to the south of St. Vincent. Some of these isolated patches of rainfall heading into section of Grenada as we speak. Some of that east of Trinidad right now, and passing to the south east of Tobago. Taking a look at the Doppler radar images on the wider view, you can see that rainfall that we just mentioned coming into sections of Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, that rainfall associated with those clouds that we saw coming into sections of western Florida. So the pattern is very much stuck at this point. Hopefully there's a change coming shortly. As relates to the temperature forecast, we can see all of that cold air still affecting portions of the southern and eastern United States as indicated by those blues, greens, purples, and we can see it all being represented by the key on the right. While it's average to above normal temperatures that we see across majority of the Caribbean, as indicated by those clear colors that indicate zero, or those gray colors that indicate zero, and the yellows and the gold are some slight oranges that represent above normal temperatures. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Wednesday, majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, not much dust at all to worry about. As relates to the wave forecast for the Caribbean, majority of the Caribbean should be averaging anywhere from 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights. It's only that area to the south of Jamaica, to the north of Panama, where we see those purples. That area is definitely going to be getting anywhere from 2 meter wave heights, maybe even spilling into the 3 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are going to be strongest down there, coming in from the east, northeast, or the northeast, averaging 25 knots, maybe even gusting to 30 knots as we can see by those yellows, and we can see it being represented by the key on the bottom right. While other areas are going to be getting winds coming in from the east, averaging anywhere from 10 to 20 knots at most. As relates to the rainfall forecast now, we can see some more rainfall in store for sections of the Bahamas, eastern Cuba. Not much in the way of rainfall for Haiti or the Dominican Republic, not to mention Puerto Rico. Definitely going to be in the clear. St. Kitts and Nevis, the US and British Virgin Islands, going to be in the clear. It's that area right there near Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, that's going to be getting in on some more rainfall, and they're already getting in on some of that as we speak. Don't see much in the way of rainfall for sections of Barbados at all. It's just that area to the west of Barbados, a section of St. Vincent, just like how we just saw on the Doppler images. Not to mention sections of Trinidad and Tobago, northeastern Venezuela, Colombia as usual. Look at those reds and yellows and purples represent up to an inch of rainfall or more. So there could be some amount of isolated flash flooding taking place across those spots. As usual, Costa Rica, Costa Rica, southeastern Nicaragua, northeastern Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, definitely gonna be getting in on some rainfall. Section of the Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, and even some isolated rainfall spilling into sections of the Cayman Islands, as we can see by those screens right there. I know that when we see both maps showing something similar like this, the chances of actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.